very unexpected little reading here. I've got spirit to offload. And what I mean by that is when I have a spirit person that's kind of hanging out and has been hanging out for hours, but none of my clients that were booked today can take him. So that means he's very persistent and adamant about coming through, which is okay. Because I do believe that when I'm on, I'm on. Like the light switch is on. When I'm on, I'm on. So I don't really avoid certain spirit. Now, of course, I don't walk around the supermarket reading people, but so I have this young man to share with everybody. So I'll give people a couple minutes. So I'll give them time to step in and see, maybe we can make a hit. And keeping in mind, of course, that I always leave the live broadcasts up on the page. So, pardon me, even if you see this later on, it's okay. And just know that your loved one's here with you, right? I will have to say, it's a young man that I have here. And obviously, if you guys can see the image that I set up, he was a biker. He was a biker. So I've got this younger man. I say no more than 35, right? No more than 35. And I almost want to say between 24, maybe 24 and 34, somewhere 32, somewhere around there, okay? So he's young. One of the things I felt, I don't know if he passed from a motorcycle accident, or because he keeps on giving me this throat thing going on here. Pardon me, I need a drink. So he's showing me that. So I've got this young man, dark hair. I do get a sense that he's very, I don't want to say he's a loner, because he likes to be around people. But then I also feel like he's more introverted than extroverted. So he's not lonely when he's alone, right? And maybe his work is alone. And I do feel like for his work he would have been skilled trades or something like that. I see him working with his hands. So if you guys can understand some of the stuff I'm giving you, like evidence that I'm providing, he's providing, please chime in and we'll see what we can put together, okay? When I tell you that there's a linking name, this could be his name, it could be your name, it could be your husband's name, it could be family name or whatever. So I'm getting a linking name of Nicholas or Nick. And then I also get a sense of there being something about I almost want to say there's cancer here. Either cancer in him or cancer in his dad. Okay? So again, if you guys can take this, please let me know. Just chime in. So if you have a young man on the other side who used to be a motorcycle rider, chime in, kids. So while we're waiting for those comments, and like I said, maybe the person who needs to hear this will hear this as a recording, and that's fine. But chime in again if you can understand some of this that's being taken. I almost get a sense that this is more a nephew or someone very close to the family. Nephew, brother, or someone close to the family. I don't feel like this was your dad. I also don't feel like it was your son. I feel more like your generation or a friend of the family. Okay? Now, I'm also aware of him telling me that there's either some type of memorial for him that you have on your body or that you wear on your body. Like maybe you have his coat or something like that, or maybe you have a tattoo for him, okay? Okay, so Jessica can take motorcycle, husband passed from cancer at 36, and grandfather just passed, his name was Nick. Okay, gotcha. All right, so Jessica, I think I'm with you, baby. So Nick makes sense. All right, so it wasn't him. Grandpa's name was Nick, which is fine. And that's why I say linking, because sometimes I get the names, but I never really know sometimes where they go. Oh, you have a tattoo and a necklace that he gave you, and you wear it every day. Great. Okay, so I'm definitely with you, Jessica. Thank you. Isn't it interesting, because sometimes I never know who this is going to, but I always trust that who's supposed to hear this will hear this. And keep in mind, even though I do believe I'm with Jessica, there could also be a Cledon, where multiple spirit are coming through with pretty much the same information. So if you can take part of it, own it, right? Own it. But I will be addressing my conversation with Jessica. So Jessica, stay on the line here. Stay on the keyboard. All right, now he's showing me also would you understand that involving his passing, there's something to do with a party or a bar or something to do with drinking or some kind of substances. Do you understand that, Jessica? Because he's talking to me about, like, just before his passing, having been at some place where there was activity like that. I see a lot of people around him having fun. Now, he's showing me also that there's a... This is so funny. So he's kissing his biceps, like a muscle man type thing. So I think he's teasing. So either that or he's got great big arms, but I think he's just teasing because that's his personality I'm hearing. Oh yeah, so yes, New Year's Eve and Christmas. Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of people around there, a lot of love, a lot of fun, a lot of laughter, and just having a great time. And he's saying to me that, he's cracking me up. He says, I lived my life with no regrets. And then he goes, yeah, maybe a little, right? So Jessica confirms, yes, he had big arms. He was very strong. Yeah, so he's doing one of these things. So it's just so crazy. I love that. So he's just a funny guy. Yeah, so there's a little bit of regret, a couple things, of course. Don't we all? But he's very happy with his life. Like there was passion there, you know? There was passion. He did what he wanted to do, and for the most part, he's saying. And he's also talking to me about Trump. So I don't know when he passed, my dear, but why is he talking about Trump? Hang on. I don't know necessarily if it is Trump, like Donald Trump, or he was adamant about his, he's adamant about his stances, right? Like what he stood for. He was adamant about that. Sometimes stubbornly so, but he stuck to his guns, right? And she says, yes, he accomplished a lot. Yeah. Now, he's also, what does that mean? Freedom was so important to him. He shows me with what looks like a horse bit in his mouth, you know, like one of these things, you know, so you can't chomp down or whatever. And what that's one of my symbols for, like, not being able to speak freely. And so freedom was so important to him, and that during his life, right, and that like he didn't want to, I guess, because I have to say, he's also telling me that, so I'm assuming that there's kids, because he's talking to me about raising the monsters, his joking word for kids, or raising the monsters, or maybe you're a teacher, I don't know, but, and he's doing this, like, thumbs up. Just keep on doing what you're doing, sweetheart. Just keep doing what you're doing. He loves you so much. Jessica, there you go, my dear. So everybody, thanks for checking in. Thanks for tuning in. And I'm only doing that one reading. I just needed to offload that gentleman. And I'm glad he came through. And these are people that, obviously, she says she has a shirt that says, help, I created a monster. And my son has a shirt that says monster. There you go. I love how they use your terminology, right? So sometimes it's not necessarily, you know, everybody wants names, and that's great, but sometimes that's the hardest thing to get. So sometimes it's the characteristics of the spirit person that come through that's the validating factor. Because if I would have said, oh, Jessica's husband says, oh, you're raising angels. And she said, that is not my husband. Right? But since he called his child a monster, it sounds like what, you know, because he knows that, right? He knows about the shirt. He knows about the son wearing the shirt. He's, yeah, I love it. I just love it. Those goofy little things are the best evidence, in my opinion. See, as a clairaudient, I hear spirit and I just spit it out. Kind of like I'm a radio, right? I'm a radio. So the radio doesn't have the power. It comes through and I spit it out. So that's how it goes. At least for me. At least for me. So, Jessica, I leave that with you with lots of love. Lots of love from your husband. God bless everybody. Mwah. Have a nice night.